Hello, beautiful ladies. How are you doing today? Super excited to be here with you for week 5. Week 5 of 6 of our New Year Real You video series, where we're really digging into the magic of you and how using your unique human design can really help you unlock all the energy, excitement, vitality that you have been dreaming of. How have you been enjoying it so far? How many of the videos have you taken in? Have you looked at the setting standards? Have you looked at upping your energy? Have you looked at finding calm in chaos? Have you looked at, what was last week? You'd think I would remember since that was, breaking free of Groundhog Day. Which of these have supported you the most? Do you have any questions? Is there anything that you need more clarity on? I would love to dig into this deeper with you and really help you tap into this amazing energy so that you can magnetize all you desire, so that you can really draw it in without it feeling like this push and grind and feeling overwhelming and feeling stressful and being this anxious, anxiety-ridden thing. I'm so excited to dig into today's topic, and today really is all about magnetizing your desires and really helping you navigate challenges with ease, moving joyfully through your days, confident and clear on your next best steps, so that you can feel incredible in the life, body, and business that you have now as you continue to create a life that lights you up. Because we want to enjoy the journey, enjoy the experience, to find as much joy in our everyday as possible, because your life is happening now. Your life doesn't start the day that you achieve whatever it is that you're after. Your life is happening right now. And so let's focus on making that as joyful and fun, as exciting as possible, and while amping up what is already within you so that you can bring what you want to you faster and you can feel incredible doing it. Who's here for it? I know that there might be some resistance to this, and I'm going to tell you a story as we get, because I have a perfect example of how to use what we're going to talk about today. And I can't wait to dig into this story with you. But I want you to understand that I know what it feels like to feel really frustrated and overwhelmed. And I understand what it's like to really want for your life to be different than it is, to really want to make a bigger impact, to really want to have the thing, to have the result, to achieve the thing. I understand how important it is for you to achieve what it is that you want. This is on your heart, it is in your body, it is part of who you are. And I can understand how tired it can feel when you feel like you're constantly grinding it out and you're constantly working towards it, and you're always searching for the next best answer and the next thing that's going to unlock the actual secret for you. And actually, next week event is called The Secret to Success, and that was very intentional in that language. But really, the secret lies in everything we've been talking about so far. It's by tapping into your unique energy, tapping into exactly what it is that you want, that you desire, that really feels incredible to you. And I really want to help you release the stress and the overwhelm and the anxiety that comes from working so hard, and help you step into more energy, excitement, ease. Who's here for it? Who's excited? I'm excited. I'm very excited about this. So today is really all about giving you actionable steps based on your unique design that is really going to help you break free of the cycle of eat, sleep, work, repeat, and to help you understand how you can step into your unique energetic blueprint so you can feel better than ever as you do more of what you love with who you love. I'm excited. All right, so I have notes because I want to be clear and concise and to get you in and out as quickly as possible, but still giving you exactly what you need, like the juiciest information. So we're really going to start. Okay, you need your human design chart. So I did put it in the description here so that you can go grab it. It's just going to make way more sense to you if you can physically see your chart and understand like what I'm talking about, what areas of the body that I'm talking about, because we're going to be digging into your centers today, and we're specifically digging into your defined centers. That's the colored in blocks of your chart. I was going to do this on my computer. I forgot I did it on my phone, but I meant to do it on my computer so I could share what it looks like. I will pop my chart into the comments when we're done so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I know some of you are very new to human design, but it's the colored in the blocks. So you have 9 centers. So those blocks that are colored in, those are your defined centers. And that's what we're focusing on today, because those are the centers that you have consistent access to the energy. It is always there. It's just a matter of whether it's empowered or disempowered. And when you flip the switch on these centers to empowered, coming back to where you have consistent energy again and again, that is how you really magnetize what it is that you are working towards. Really creating more of what you want. More energy, more excitement, more vitality, more success in your life, your body, your business, more peace, more satisfaction, more surprise and delight. It just gets to be such a beautiful experience when you learn how to work with your unique energy. And so what I find a lot, and this actually happened to me too, like when I started going down the road to human design, what I find when people learn about the centers and they learn about defined versus undefined, they automatically gravitate towards the undefined centers, because you learn pretty early on that your undefined centers are where you absorb the energy from others. So you feel the energy of others in those centers really deeply and taking in what isn't yours. And your first instinct might be really to fix it, to be like, how do I fix this? How do I magnetize, how do I get rid of everything that isn't mine so that I can step into what it is that I want? But really, there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix. It's all energy. Every thought, every emotion, every feeling in your body is just energy. And if you can really embrace that first, it really helps you understand that your undefined centers are your portals of wisdom. And that part, the things that you're absorbing and experiencing are things that you're meant to absorb and experience. It is part of why you're here, is to really step into that wisdom. It's a gift. And yes, while releasing what isn't yours is important, I'm not saying that it isn't, it can be a really intense and overwhelming experience to release those things when you've come to be attached to those things, if you don't have somewhere to really anchor your energy. And so that's what today is about. It's, you want something consistent in your body, something to bring you an element of safety so that you can come back to where you're energetic again and again, keeping you grounded as you take better care of you. This is the magic that is in the defined centers. And this is why I love the defined centers so much. So some of my favorite things of human design are the defined centers and incarnation cross. Those two are my favorite. Now I love all elements of it, and you have to embrace all of it really to be able to step into the fullness of you. But these are my favorite. And so I'm really excited to talk about this today, because you do have consistent energy in these centers, and it's part of your magic, a huge part of who you are. And this energy literally radiates from you in the same way your type radiates from you. So once you learn the basics of really stepping into your human design type, your strategy, your authority, those things are still the most important. Like, they're still the most important. Like, I will say it again and again and again. If you haven't watched the videos about those, I would recommend going back. And if you need help in figuring out which ones those are, just let me know and I will direct you. But I do recommend that you start with type, energy, strategy, because that is going to support you the most as you begin your human design experiment. But the centers are also a beautiful place for you to anchor into while you're embarking on your experiment, to really help you allow the joy to flow faster and to bring more of what you want to you, and to really have fun along the way, because we really want to be enjoying the process. So we're going to delve into each center briefly. I'm not digging deep. I'm not going deep into each center because there are 9 of them and we don't want to be here all day. And honestly, this is part of what we're doing inside your divine design. Like the ultimate embodiment experience, where we are helping you break free of the hustle and grind, and we're really helping you to move joyfully through your days, and we're helping you have more fun and get more done. We're going to be digging really deep into this inside of your divine design. So that is the place for that. But I do want to give you this information so that you can use it now, so that you don't have to slow down your momentum and your trajectory, and you can really step into what you have consistent access to now, so that you can continue rocking and rolling as you create exactly what it is that you want to create. So we're going to start, and I want to give you a taste of what's possible when you step into your divine design. I'm gonna take a sip. All right, so we're gonna start with the root center. That's the block on the very bottom. And I really wish that I had my chart for you to see, but it's okay. It's fine. We're going to roll with it and work with it, and it's all gonna be fine. So the root center is the one on the bottom. And this is the center of grounding, the center of trust. It's a motor center that loves to be taking action and being still, depending on what your body needs. So it is the root center. It keeps you grounded. And when this center is defined for you, so this only applies if it's colored in on your chart. If this is not colored in your chart, this does not apply to you. I want to be very, very clear about that. So if it's defined, you're designed to withstand pressure. You know when to take action and when to be still. And it has this internal pressure to achieve and succeed. It is a pressure center. So we have 2 pressure centers. We have one on the root, we have one on the head. So literally your body can feel pressure from both ends. So I love how I talk with my hands. Where are my hand talkers? Hands up if you're a hand talker. It's not just me. I know. I swear, I wonder if it's a generator thing, because I see a lot of generators doing this. If you're a generator that's a hand talker, like put a hands up down below so I can know that I'm not alone in this. It's also my defined root, because spontaneous actions is part of the defined root. So I know that that is true. So when it's disempowered, you may feel this pressure to really force outcomes, to push for results, to do more, to move faster. So really paying attention to that, and when that comes up for you, and recognizing that's a disempowered expression of the root center. It is made to be grounded, to feel, to help you develop trust in yourself, in your body, in your experience. So really understanding that relationship and how it's designed to work is really going to support you. Next up is the sacral. So that's the box that's directly above the root center. And this is only generators and manifesting generators have a defined sacral. Like, that's how that works. And this is the battery pack for generators and mani-gens. And it is the motor center that, it's another motor center that is full of creativity and desire and your wants and sexuality, and it helps you create these beautiful boundaries in your life, and it's meant to feel joyful and excited, and it loves to move, and it's activated by movement. So when it's defined, you know what you desire and what you require. You get energy from moving with your sacral response, so like really following the response that comes in your body. It's here for mastery, so it likes to do things over and over again, and it's joyful, it's exciting, it's fun. Like, it's a beautiful place to be and live when you have a defined sacral. So if you find yourself burning out or overcommitting or compromising your boundaries and standards over and over again, that's a sign of a disempowered sacral. And it's really funny because I had some of this show up for me this week. And so I'm going to talk about how it is that I anchor back into this energy, because I am a generator and I do have a defined sacral. And I do have consistent access to that energy. So I know what I need to do to bring myself back to an empowered state. And we're going to talk about that because that's a really important part of the process. But first, I really want to go through all of the centers, and then we'll talk about how to take them and how to use them and how to work with this energy. I just really want you to connect to each of your defined centers and recognize, okay, is this showing up for me as empowered or disempowered? Am I using it in the way it's designed or not? Because that's really going to help you turn the switch on so that you can magnetize more of what you want. So next up is the emotional solar plexus. So that's over on the right. So it's to the right of the sacral. And that is the center of feelings and emotions. And so when it's defined, you feel emotions very deeply. You have an emotional wave, and you are responsible for processing emotions and really showing the rest of us how it's done. Now, 50% of the world has a defined sacral. I think 46 actually. A defined emotional solar plexus. So it's not just your responsibility, it's everyone's responsibility who has one to really understand how their emotions work and how they can move through them. And that is part of what you're here to do. And you're designed to make decisions based on how you feel from this center. So what might show up for you if you're experiencing disempowerment in this center is a tendency to kind of numb out, to create drama, to avoid confrontation, fear of what other people think about what you're doing, or like that people pleasing can really show up as a disempowered expression of the emotional solar plexus. So just being aware of a tendency to kind of shut yourself down and to shut the emotions off and to run away from the emotions when they show up for you. Like, it's important to recognize when this shows up. And I want to be clear, the disempowerment piece can show up either in a defined or an undefined. So you might be resonating with both of these, whether you have it defined or undefined. But what makes it magnetic is the definition. So I'm going to dig a little bit more into that as we go down through. So next up is the spleen. So the spleen is to the left of the sacral. And so this is your awareness center, and it really houses your intuition, your instinct. It's very reactionary. It helps you connect more deeply to your body and what it needs. So this is the center of vitality. And this is the center that really has defined all parts of my journey. Like, I was so connected to this part of my body before I knew anything about human design. I was so connected to my spleen. It was a very intuitive, this is what I know. I know it because I know it. Like, it was just this internal, I can call it a voice. Like, it felt like a voice of, this is what you need to do next. Like, it was really, I followed my intuition before I knew anything about my sacral response. So when it's defined, you are really designed to have this robust immunity and a strong awareness of your body and this beautiful intuition and instinct. And as people with defined spleens, because I also have a defined spleen, you are responsible for really helping process fears and showing other people how to do that. I've been going through a whole lot of that lately. I'm going to dig into that towards the end here a little bit. But if you find yourself really falling into toxic habits and behaviors, so like for me, that was always like binge watching TV or eating things that weren't good for me, even though I knew my body didn't want that. It was, you knew it was bad for you. You knew it was not going to help you feel well. It was deciding from fear. It was this insecurity that you're indecisive. If you feel those things are coming up for you, then that is a disempowered expression of your spleen and not the way that you're designed to move if you have that center defined. And so really tapping into, is it empowered? Is it not? Am I using it in the way that it's designed? We're going to, again, talk about that as we go through each of these centers. So the next one is the ego. So this is the motor center. The motor center that is responsible for resource and value and worth. It houses your motivation and your willpower. It's your energetic bank. It's also the center of wealth. So when it's defined, you really know what you want. I want what I want and I know how to get it. It's this very, you can feel the ego in that, right? And sometimes the ego kind of gets a bad rap because we've designed to think that the ego is a bad thing. But the ego is just a center. It's the heart center. It's the will center. It's it's a beautiful center. And so it shouldn't get a bad rap. And, when you have it defined, you're here to really own what motivates you without judging that. It's okay to be motivated by luxury things or by whatever it is that motivates you. It doesn't matter you don't have to be motivated by luxury things, but if you are, that is okay. It's okay to embrace that. And you might have this desire to achieve and this motivation to really master the material plane and to really get the things and enjoy the things and really allow yourself to embrace who you are and the way that you express yourself. That ego is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm very attracted to egos. I have an undefined ego, so I'm very attracted to the ego. I think that it's a beautiful thing. And so when it's disempowered, you might find yourself comparing yourself to others. You might find yourself trying to prove. You might be really, really competitive. There may be some external validation that you're looking for. So if you find that that's what's happening, then this is a sign that your magnetism is not turned all the way on, that you're not in an empowered place with this, and really allowing yourself to come into a more empowered expression is going to support you in achieving more of what you want. So next up is the one in the middle. So this is, I like to call this the heart center. It is not the heart center. Please do not take my words around. But to me, it's the heart. It feels like the heart. It's in the center of the body. It's below the throat. So it just feels like the heart to me. And it's a center of identity and the center of self and the center for focus and direction and love and identity. So when it's defined, you have a really strong sense of identity in who you are. And you're connected with a direction and you're less influenced by the outside world, and you have a lot of love to give when this is defined. And so if you notice yourself really trying to force a direction or numbing out or defining who you are based on other people around you, that's not real. That's not an empowered expression of your G center. So really tapping back into how you're designed in that center is going to help you feel better and bring more of what you want to you. Next up is the throat center. So this is the center of communication, of manifestation, of expression, and all the energy in your body is moving towards the throat. So the head center energy is moving towards the throat, and the root center and everything from below comes up is all moving towards your throat, because all energy wants to be expressed and get out. It wants to come out of your body. So when it's defined, this is you're designed to speak your truth and to communicate and to express and share in the first person and tell the stories and move your energy into action. It is and there's a little bit of a caveat here for whether or not you're a manifester. If you're a manifester, share all over the place. If you're a generator with a or a projector with a defined throat. So a manifestor, manifesting generators, if your motor is attached to your throat, I know I'm getting deep into it now. I said I wasn't going deep, but I'm doing it anyway. Can't help it. I want to share the things. It's just a matter of, if your throat is attached to a motor, then you are share everywhere. If you are a generator or projector and your throat is not attached to a motor, then you really want to be invited to share in the spaces. So, and that's to allow for room for people to connect with you. Your message isn't heard the same if your voice is all over, if you haven't been invited, unless you're a manifestor. Manifestors can speak all over the place, like, because they have that direct connection to their throat. So really allowing that is going to be important. Anyway, I said I wasn't going deep down there, so I'm going to come back to simplicity. Let me anchor back into the simplicity. We don't need to be going down the rabbit hole. I apologize for the rabbit hole. Anyway, if you have more questions about that, let me know. If you find yourself shouting to be recognized or trying to fill a silence, this was me. Like, I was such a fill a silence kind of girl. This is now, but I have an undefined throat, so it's a little bit different. Or seeking attention or unsure about what to say, then this is really a sign that you have some disempowerment in the center, and it's just not as magnetic as it could be. So really coming back to the way you are designed is going to be super helpful in magnetizing what it is that you're looking for. And then next up we have the ajna. So this is an awareness and a processing center. It lives in your head, and it's the center of insight and processing information, and it's the divine translator. It's the center of opinions. And it is, when it's defined, you're here to share when you've been asked. Like, when you've been asked for your opinions, you're invited to share them. And it's an information center. It's analytical. It creates concepts and frameworks. It has this certainty, this stubbornness that can come with the ajna. It's knowing whether or not that is an empowered stubbornness is really important. There's a lot of discernment when it comes to human design. And this is why the body connection is so important. Being really connected to your body and what it needs from moment to moment. So that is always where we start when we're doing human design work and that we're going to be talking a lot about that next week. So I don't want to go too far down this hole, but this is why the body connection is so important, is because there's a lot of discernment and is this empowered, is it not? And so, like, if you find yourself trying to figure out, how can I make this work for me? So if you're here right now, like, this was me. I was very much like this, and I have a defined ajna, and I was very disempowered in this space because when I went down the rabbit hole of human design, I found myself being like, okay, I get it. I'm excited by it. It lights me up. But how do I use it? Like, how do I make it work for me? And this was my disempowered ajna trying to force something. And it isn't about force. It's about allowing and about surrender and about, like, really stepping into who you really are. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this when we go through. I just want to give you some examples so that you can step into this. And then finally is the head center, which is our other pressure center. And this is a center of inspiration and imagination and questions and clarity. And so when it's defined, you have consistent access to inspiration and ideas. I am inspired all the time. Like, it never shuts off. Like, it's consistently going. The ideas are constantly there. It's always running. And it used to be so disempowered, so it was so frustrating. Like, it was literally the monkey mind. I was so frustrated by it because it was constantly going, and now I love it because I know how to switch it from disempowered to empowered. And that is really the work. The work is really being like, okay, is this empowered or not? And how can I switch it back to empowered so that I can move forward with clarity, with confidence, with excitement, with energy? Who wants that? Like, you want to do this, right? So if it's disempowered, you can find yourself, like, having trouble focusing. You can find this pressure to find the answer. You're like a squirrel, shiny object syndrome, like going for all the things. And you can find yourself keeping busy. And that keeps you disconnected from your body and from your divine design. All right. Who has questions about any of the centers? I would be delighted to answer anything that you have questions about and how that shows up for you. But what I really think is going to help you, I've given you the information. Now I want to show you how this works in real life so that you can actually take it and apply it and understand, okay, now I get how this works. Like I get how I can anchor my energy. So because I'm here doing this with you and because I'm launching this new experience and I am showing up in a different way, and I've hit this revolution. You'll remember from last week's live that I said I've entered my I don't give a fuck era, and I'm here for it and I'm excited about it, and it's very revolutionary. Like it feels amazing and feels so good. But as expected, it really is inviting me to step into this next level of myself. So I'm asking for more. So I'm also being asked to do more. And so that can be really uncomfortable. And so there's been some anxiety and some fear and some stress that has come into my body. Exactly the things that we're talking about today: stress, overwhelm, anxiety. And I am handling it like a champ. I mean, I am so proud because I know what to do. Because I'm tapped into my human design, I do know what to do. Like I know the steps. And so what I've been doing is really reconnecting to my body again and again, because that connection is everything. So that's my defined spleen. So I'm anchoring into the body connection in my divine spleen, to my intuition, to my instinct, to my inner knowing. I'm anchoring in there because my light switch is on. I'm moving through the fear as it comes up. Like I'm allowing myself to move through that fear. And when that feels like the fear is a little overwhelming, I move that energy into my sacral, because my sacral is my creativity, my joy, my excitement, and I move my body. Like physically move my body. Just like, okay, I need to move. So like before I came on here today, I was experiencing a little bit of anxiety. So, and I had a coaching call with my own mentor before we came on, and we had worked through some of this together, and like it's just this, and sometimes like it doesn't matter how long you've been doing the work. You can't, what my mentor loves to say is that you can't read the label from inside the bottle. It's hard to read the outside from when you're on the inside. So like having someone to be able to reflect back the label to you and be like, this is the way, like this is the way forward, anchor back in. So I moved my body, moved my energy, really sang and danced around my kitchen, allowed myself to tap back into my sacral, shake up all that sacral energy to move the anxiety out and to really ground myself into this moment using my defined root, to trust that I'm going to say the right thing, that I'm going to be clear and concise, that I know what I know, and that I am confident in what I share and how I share it, and in it reaching the right people at the right time and in the right way and all the things. So anchoring into that trust and allowing my defined ajna. So I have a defined ajna. So allowing my defined ajna to keep it simple and to not overcomplicate it, and to allow myself to be inspired by my life and to be inspired by the things I've already created, and to remember how far I've already come, and to allow myself to anchor into all of that beautiful energy that just lives in my body. It just lives in there. All I have to do is come back again and again and ask myself, is this center empowered? And if it's not, okay, how can I switch it to empowered? And taking an action to really ground myself back in, to really find my joy, to really trust my intuition, to really trust my inspiration, to trust that simplicity matters, and to really come back to those centers again and again and again. The work is almost annoying. Like, it's almost annoying how simple it is. And right away, how many of you were like, it can't be that simple? I would love to know how many of you were like, nope, don't believe it can be that easy. Don't believe that it's just as easy as like finding like myself inside myself. The energy lives inside of you. You have energy. Now, the thing I haven't mentioned that I think is really important, because we're talking about defined centers. And I haven't mentioned reflectors, because reflectors don't have any defined centers. So when you are a reflector and you don't have any, you do still have definition. So you have defined gates. And so what is really supportive for a reflector is to really anchor into your conscious sun. So whatever that gate is, that is something specific that we could definitely dive into in a human design reading or within your divine design. If we have reflectors in here, I don't even know if we do, but I do want to have that caveat, because they don't have defined centers. It doesn't mean you don't have anywhere to anchor your energy. You anchor in to, and like your life's work is such a huge part of what you do, clearly, and who you are. So that's a really great place to anchor your energy after we do the basics of type, strategy, authority. And really, it just gives you the ability to have somewhere to come back to, somewhere that feels like home, somewhere that feels like yourself, something that allows you to have this recognition of, is my energy empowered or not? And it becomes easy the more that you do this, and the more that you recognize, okay, I have anxiety about this, I have fear about this, I have stress about this, and you recognize that, and you're like, okay, where am I feeling it? Where in my body am I feeling it? How is it showing up? How can I release it? Can I release it? Like, it's this, and not attaching yourself to it, because this is something that I have struggled with in the past. It's not something I struggle so much with now. But I do still have attachment to some of these things. I remember when I first started doing all this work, if you've been in my world any amount of time, you've heard me say this before. I'm going to say it again because I think it's very valuable. When I was doing this work, I had done so much release. And this was before I found human design. And so this is how I know how different it feels. I had done so much of the work that I was literally terrified. I mean, literally terrified, because I had dug up so much stuff. I had let go so much stuff, and I had done so much of that, like what they call shadow work, I guess. And I had done so much of that I felt like I was stripped bare, that I was like naked. And it was like, I don't know who I am anymore without this. Like, without all of this, without all of these beliefs, without all of these stories, without all of these attachments, I feel lost. Like, I feel like I don't know who I am. And now what I know is that was my open G center. Like, that was like my open G center being like, who the hell am I? Like, who the hell am I right now? If I had known that then, if I had known that what would have supported me was anchoring into where I have consistent energy, because I didn't have consistent energy in my open G center. I had consistent energy in my sacral, in my root, in my spleen, in my ajna, in my head. Like, it's really understanding, where can I anchor it? Like, where can I anchor myself to ride out the challenges with more ease? Because I can't take away the challenges. Like, there's nothing, I can't take away the challenges that are going to come up in your life. You're going to experience loss, and you're going to experience grief, and you're going to experience stress, and you're going to experience overwhelm, and you're going to experience anxiety. That's life. We're humans. We're here for the full experience. We're here to experience it at all, like all parts of it. So I can't remove all that. But what I can do is help you anchor in to where you are empowered and really use that energy to keep you grounded as you release the stuff that you no longer want, that's no longer for you, that's keeping you in the same repeating patterns, that's keeping you reliving Groundhog Day, that's keeping you from having everything that you desire. And so when we turn, but that those energy centers, those defined energy centers, they need to be empowered, because if they're not empowered, they're not magnetic. And so this is the key, right? Like, it's like, let's turn the switches on all the defined centers. Let's make them empowered, and recognizing that you're going to come in and out of empowered versus disempowered. But when you get connected with your body and you can actually feel, okay, I feel this stress in my root, or I feel this overwhelm in my head, or I feel this anxiety in my chest, or I feel this fear in my belly, or I feel this emotion, like to the point where I want to throw up. Like, it's like when you can connect where it is in your body to, is it empowered, is it not, and how can I move it? That is when you magnetize all that you want. And so this is what we're doing inside your divine design. This is one of the final things that we're doing inside of your divine design. And it is one of the most exciting things for me to help you with, because I am an energy activator. Like, that is what I do. That is what I claim myself as. That is what I'm damn good at. I am good at helping you tap into that energy. I am good at helping you anchor back in again and again. I am good at helping you move through the frustration and the anger and the overwhelm and the whatever is coming up from you. I'm good at reframing. I'm good at this. Like, this is what I'm good at. And when I have your human design in front of me, and I can help you see on your chart where to anchor your energy, where to come back to yourself, where it's showing up for you, and how you can turn the switch back to magnetic versus not. That is when you're going to see such joy and energy and excitement and ease. And it's not always easy, because what I'm going through now doesn't feel super easy. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, it doesn't feel super easy. I hesitated on doing this today because I was like, is my energy here? Like, is it here? But what I know is that I love interacting with you, and I love talking with you, and I love helping you in this way. And I knew once I came that it would come out, and it would be exciting, and it would be fun, and I would love it. And I'm right. Like, you can see I'm animated. You can see that I'm vibrant. You can see that this lights me up. So really, like, understanding how to move with your energy is everything. And having that support is everything. You can do this on your own. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I do believe it would be a lot more challenging, because I have been on this journey for almost 2 years now, and I needed help today. Even though I logically knew what to do, I was like, I need someone to reflect this back for me so that I can anchor back into my energy, because my power was outside of myself. My energy was outside of myself. And I needed someone to remind me of that, and to be like, let's bring it back. Let's anchor it back. And like, it's so good. It's so valuable. It's so exciting. And this is the work that we're doing inside your divine design. This turning the switches on, this is what we're doing. And as I mentioned earlier, we're breaking free of the hustle and the grind, and we're really helping you tap into your unique energy so that you can have more energy, you can have more excitement, you can have more ease, you can feel more at home in your body, you can love who you see in the mirror every day, you can be proud of how you're showing up in your life, in your body, in your business. You can be certain that you're maintaining your standards, and you're doing the things that really light you up, and you're feeling so good doing it all, and just navigating life with so much more ease and so much more excitement and so much more energy, having more fun, getting more done, moving joyfully through your days, in love with who you are, how you interact in the world, and what you have to offer. This is the magic of your divine design. This is the magic that I want to provide for you. We begin on February 25th. That is like, 2 weeks away. 2 weeks. So exciting. And it's the ultimate embodiment experience. It's really reconnecting you to your body, to your values, to your why, to your alignment, to who you really are, so that you can have the best experience ever. Who's here for it? Who needs more information? Who has questions about today? I know it was a lot of information. And I tried to not dig too deeply into it, but the information means nothing if you don't do something with it. So it's super important to really take the information and take one piece. You don't have to go through every single defined center and be like, how do I switch this from empowered to disempowered? Like, let's not overwhelm yourself. Let's start with your authority. Like, so if you have to pick one center to see, is this empowered for me? Start with your authority, because that's your inner compass. So the finding calm in chaos is going to give you all the information that you need to know about your authority. And if you have questions about that, just send me a message and I'll tell you. But it's tap into that one first. If you need to start somewhere, because your authority center is your center where you make your decisions. So all your aligned decisions come from that center. So start with your authority if you need somewhere to start. And if you really want to go deeper on this and to really step into the fullness of you, then I would really recommend that you check out your divine design and use your authority to help you make that decision on whether that's the right decision for you right now. I would love to have you. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. I hope you're having the most magnificent day. All the love and light from my heart to yours. If you have any questions, please let me know. Take care of you.